Give me one thing that the government runs in the black. They have absolutely bankrupted everything they've managed, and now they think they want to take over our health care, and it is wrong. I so appreciate doctors and other medical people standing up and saying that they don't agree with this. They've worked many, many years and spent a lot of money and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears getting to where they are. And they don't deserve to have our government to tell you, you know what, this is what you're going to do, this is how you're going to do it, this is who you're going to do it for, and this is when you're going to do it. It's not right.
There are many, many physicians, both here in the district and across the country, who are concerned about what's going to happen to the practice of medicine in America. The fact that they won't be able to do what they need to do for their patients because this healthcare takeover by the government is just going to get between them and their patients. And they're standing up and saying, look, our livelihoods are on the line, our patients are on the line, and we're not going to sit down and take it anymore. So they're willing to actually, as physicians who never get involved in politics, to stand up and say no to Obamacare.
On March 26th of this year, our organization, the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, filed a lawsuit against Obamacare in D.C. federal court. And just this past week in Virginia, they had a very positive ruling by the federal judge on the same premise that the individual mandate is unconstitutional. And I'm president of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. So since I couldn't be at the Tea Party in San Diego, I thought I better carry some water. So that's why we organized this. Health care for everybody is a noble idea, but it is not the right idea coming from the government. The relationship between a patient and the doctor should take place in the examining room. And anytime a third party gets involved, the cost goes up and the quality goes down. Our premise is that if we get the third parties out of the equation, then we can get back to providing the health care that everybody in the world comes to the United States to receive. There are too many rules and regulations, and if the doctor is sitting there looking at the patient and thinking, well, what will insurance cover? That's the wrong question. The question is, what does this patient need now for their best health and result? The whole plan is unconstitutional. Never in the history of this country has the government been able to tax or fine an individual for a non-action. And that's what the judge in Virginia said last week. This plan is getting in the way of patients having good quality health care. This plan will result in rationing. And the question is, well, what about the family who has a serious problem? Well, charity begins at home. Charity begins in the local community. And
folks, did you hear what he said? They have filed suit. Their organization has filed suit for all of us to throw out this government takeover of healthcare. Let's give the AAPS a huge hand.
I'm here today because I'm interested in helping my patients get the best health care possible, and I don't think that Obamacare can bring that to us. I've been in practice for 28 years, and I've seen what the insurance companies and what government has slowly eroding the relationship between me and my patients. And I don't like it, I don't appreciate it, and I'll do everything I can to get the word out that we need to appeal the Obamacare policies.
And what we need to remember is that we are the voice of this government. Our founding fathers ensured to us that we would have control over our government. And now more than ever before, we have got to rise up. We've got to be engaged. You've got to keep coming to these tea parties. We're going to be bold and strong, and we're not going to give up. That's what our founding fathers did. They pledged their lives, and they made sure that everyone knew that they were willing to give their lives and their fortunes, and most of all, their words stood for something.
I'm here basically for my kids. I've got a very talented daughter who wants to attend medical school, and as an American, I want her to have the same opportunities I had when I was coming out of medical school. You can see I've got enough gray hair on my head that medicine does not have many years with me anymore. But I look at the young kids. We're a training center for the University of Michigan in our office, and we have externs come through. We rotate 3 of them a year, and I want those guys, those kids, and particularly my children, to have the same opportunities that I did, particularly in medicine. And I have some concerns about what I see happening with our healthcare system, where they're not going to be able to go to school, come out and have any realistic expectation of being able to pay off their student loans, start a practice, and more importantly, being able to take care of their patients in the same way I've been able to take care of my patients for the past 30 years.
It's not the government's job to say, you are forced to buy this, and if you can't afford it, oh, we'll make you pay for her. It's not right, and I just challenge you to please say enough.
Dr. Watts had come to our school for homecoming week, and he had invited me as a way to, on behalf of the students at the school, show that as upcoming physicians that we also do not want to deal with being told how we can and cannot practice medicine, because what we do is for the patients and not for anything else.
Are you worried about the laws that they're putting in place?
Very much so. I sat and I read all 1,500 pages of that bill, and I was not thrilled with what I saw. So I encourage people to actually sit down and read it and to really understand what they're thinking before they vote.
How personal can you get? The relationship between your doctor is your business. And the fact that we have to reach the people who need those doctors the most. We already have a huge gap between the doctor and the minority group. All this will do is make it even bigger. We want to bridge the gap, not make it wider. So we have to say enough is enough.
My name is Milton Wolfe. It's true, I am President Obama's cousin. And when I studied his plan, I knew I had to take a stand against it. I had to take a stand for my patients, for my profession, and for my country. And I believe that the only way for us to keep our oath as physicians at this point is to engage this political beast, is to get out here and stand up for our patients. I don't think I can keep the oath for my patients and give them the medical care to the best of my ability if I allow the government to continue to come in and force itself between the doctor and the patient.
Let's let all these physicians know how much we appreciate them being here and that they're standing up for us. We're going to stand up for them.